Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, good morning.
Welcome back to Real Talk with SLR.
How are you guys doing today?
I am doing phenomenal. This weekend was so good.
Yes.
We got power. We got power. We got power. Ooh, 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 ooh.
I'm super excited.
I'm super excited too, man. We got all the lights going on in here. We're actually obviously inside the basement right now. All of the outlets are working. Everything is good to go.
Yes.
Yeah, we stayed up entirely way too late.
Way too late.
Yeah.
But we got it done.
Yeah, that was the important part. We were just so bound and determined to finish up all the electricity. We were like, I don't want to put it on hold and start it tomorrow. So we just powered through and just got it done. Yeah, but we had a good weekend though. I mean, we got big strides going on over here on our build.
Yes.
There's a lot more as well, but we do have a video that is uploading right now to SimpleLifeReclaimed, so you guys will just have to wait to find out what's going on then.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's good. I'm happy. I'm looking forward to this week.
Yeah, me too.
Because we've got a lot going on this week. So
this is going to be another very, very big week. I feel like we're gazelle intense, you know what I mean? As the great Dave Ramsey would say. And we are just like powering through a lot of these things lately. A lot of these steps, you know, they are very time consuming, but I mean, if you look back on where we were 2 weeks ago, it's just crazy how far we've come in just that short amount of time.
yeah.
So.
Hey man, I'd rather be doing this stuff than the blocks.
Yeah, any day. Any old day.
Those blocks, man, they wore me out and they took a long time.
Yeah, but it's so worth it.
Yes.
I mean, it's so worth it. And I'm proud of us that we stuck through it and we kept going, and now we're inside the basement.
Yep.
I mean,
even without the insulation in on the top and everything else like that, it's keeping a nice constant temperature inside.
Yeah.
I mean, we woke up and it was chilly outside and everything.
hoodie on.
It was like, oh my goodness. I came down into the basement and the basement was actually warmer than it was outside.
Yeah, it's maintaining a nice temperature in here, and now that we have the dehumidifier going as well, it changes the quality of the air inside.
Yes.
So it's a lot nicer, and it feels more like a home.
Yeah. It feels like an AC is running right now.
It does.
And it's not. It's just the dehumidifier is on and it's pulling all the moisture out just like an AC would.
And the ceiling fans are going around.
Yeah. Ceiling fans are on and going, and it's nice, and I don't know, I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to it because it's all coming ahead here real quick, real soon.
Yes.
And it makes me happy that we went with the block and did the basement aspect, because it should stay a nice constant temperature all around.
And we're going to have this nice place to be living in while we work on the cabin upstairs when we get to that point. And it's just putting us that much closer to getting out of the darn trailer where, you know, it wouldn't have been that soon.
No.
We're close though, we're close. Every single step is a huge step forward in getting us closer to being out of that trailer. That's going to be a monumental moment for us. I mean, this time last year, you know, we've talked about it many a times on the Real Talks, but this time last year, I think we were still in the hole. And, you know, when we moved out here, what was it, 2021? It's 2022 right now. So it was April, I think, or May of 2021. So May of last year was when we really got here. And so much has changed since then. I mean, there was literally just a quad ride trail up to a semi-cleared spot.
Well, we came out here in April, did a 3 weeks worth of work, so that way, and then turned around and got Country Road Cure. And yeah, that was, and then May started everything else.
Yeah, May was when we got here as a family compound together.
Correct.
And when we really started actually doing stuff, because when we were here in April, like Gary said, we were just getting the road together, we got the well, we had made the preparations, so that way...
to try to make life
easier
in a sense, and yeah, I'm glad that we did that.
Oh, I am too. Could you imagine those first few weeks being out here with no water and all those people and no real road? The stress would have been unbearable.
Yeah.
It would have been unbearable, but we got through it.
Yes.
We got through it.
We got through it.
And we're all doing really good. So.
And yeah, I still can't believe it. I honestly, I still looking at it like, we didn't break ground here until it was like August of 2021.
I think that
in a sense of starting to digging the actual trenches.
I think Rooster was here and did the big dig.
In July.
In July, but it was like the end of July.
Correct.
And me and you didn't start even doing anything. You're right,
August.
until August.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's been 1 year since we were hitting it with pickaxes.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's crazy. We've done a lot in a year.
Yep.
And to some of you guys, that might seem like a really long time, like, oh, a whole year and you guys still aren't done with your basement. But I'm telling you,
2 people putting it in, and
plus a lot of it, we were living off grid.
yes,
Like completely and utterly. We just recently had power brought out here by the city, which actually is going to segue us into some of our questions. So let me just jump into our questions. I do got my notebook today, guys. I got my notebook. And that actually is one of the questions that was brought up by Evelyn Holden. She is asking, does your power run off of city generators or solar?
we run off of city power.
Yes, now we do.
Yes.
Yeah.
At first, we had to do the whole generator life, and yeah, that was expensive then when gas wasn't as expensive as it is now. So I'm glad that we had that switch.
We definitely lived the generator life, and we're 100% completely off grid out here for the first half, like the first 9 months of us living out here. It was just trailers, and we had to turn a generator on to get any of the water from the well. We did the gravity feed system with the water to the trailer, and I mean, you can go back and look at our older videos. We kind of documented the whole thing on it, but having the power company come out here when Country Road Cure got their sheds delivered, and right before they started doing like the shed to houses, that was game changer, because they got power to their sheds immediately, but then we also trenched it all the way down to camp, and so we put power at camp. So there was no more waking up in the middle of the night having to gas up generators. There was no more 10 5-gallon tanks to the gas station once a week. It just made life a lot easier for us, and it actually decreased our monthly bill tremendously.
Yeah,
it was very, very expensive. And even right now, with how gas is right now, like I feel so bad for our friends that are completely off grid right now, because I know it's so expensive. And it used to never be that way. Being off grid used to be the more affordable alternative, and I'm sure it still can be if you have things set up for solar
and everything else.
Or you're just.
So that's a lot to invest into.
And propane, right? People use a lot of propane for a lot of stuff as well.
Which propane's great, just depending on the area that you're in and everything else. Propane costs have gone up over the years, and when we were in Arizona, we had a 250-gallon propane tank, and it was expensive to fill it. And the only way that we could have saved.
Hold on, I'm getting a phone call. I don't know if it stopped the video. It doesn't look like it did.
Did not.
I always get a phone call or a dog interrupting or something every single time that we do this. I feel like everybody knows that we're doing this, and then they're little like. Anyway, keep going. Sorry.
So the propane, from what we learned in Arizona, the only way that we could have saved more money is every year there's a point where it's at the cheapest per gallon, basically, and then you just buy ahead of time more gallons than you need, and then they hold it, and then you just pay the delivery fee in a sense, or whatever it is. So I mean, you can save some money on it, but it was expensive back then. And looking at it here, and we've looked at it with the propane aspects. It's the same thing as with like the hot water heater. You can go tankless and have a little less power consumption if you have propane, but now you're having to pay for the propane, and it's one of those things itself with it. So we just looked at it like it's another thing to put into the house where we don't have to. And if we make it all power, then it'll be easier for us to go later on and switch everything to solar. So
that actually goes back into her question. It was power. Is it city generators or solar? Like we were saying, it is city power right now. But in the long term, our long-term goals is to be completely self-sufficient. We would like to have solar generators. We also are going to be, we'll probably be doing this really soon. We will be putting the switch in there so that way if the city power does go out, we can hook up our generator and run the house off of that.
Yes.
So we'll have backups to the backups. And there is a reason why we didn't just do everything now to where it's set up on solar right away. And that has a lot to do with the cost. The upfront cost, it can be very expensive, where having the city come in and put the, connect it from the pole to our power rack, that was free. So all we had to do was take it from the rack to the house and then do everything that you guys saw us doing. So because of that significant, very, very significant price difference, that's why we decided to go with city power first. And then we're going to be making the conversion to solar and stuff at a later time and pick it up piece by piece as we can afford it. And eventually we will end up being completely on solar. And we'll have the backup to the backup with the generator and the city power, and one will be charging the other when it's not, when the sun's not shining, and we'll have it set up that way.
I've been, with all the research that I've been looking at, it's always a lot better if you just wait to hook up the solar when you can afford for everything all at once. So that way you know that your package is actually, can work with everything that you buy in the package.
To work for all your appliances and stuff. Yeah.
And I would hate to buy something right now at a price, and then in 2 years when it is time to hook it up, find that they have a better device that's out. That was the same. Exactly. So I'm just like, I'll wait.
That happens too.
Exactly. So I'm just going to wait and hold my horses until I can do it all at once.
So Evelyn, that was a fantastic question. Thank you for asking it. We appreciate you guys. I do have my notebook out today, and I have several different questions from you guys. And I'm just going to start getting into it because we really want to get a move on today. So Diane Foster was asking, would you be able to put a small door in the hallway where the bathroom plumbing is? So if you need to check on it, you just open the door and there it is.
So I could do that. I don't want to do that just for the simple fact that the PEX itself, PEX piping is really, really good for the no leaking aspect. So once it's in there and you know that it's not leaking, you should never have to really go in there and mess with it. But it is a good idea with it. I have thought about it here and there just because the trailer is somewhat like that, to where I can just sort of unscrew a panel and there it is. But I'd rather just have it all said and done. If I need to cut it out later, I do know where it's going to be.
That's true. That's true.
But hopefully I will never have to cut it out.
Yeah, I hope not.
That's the plan.
I hope not. Hope we never have to. Hopefully that we get the PEX all tightened down and it's good to go.
Yes.
But Diane, thank you for that suggestion. That was very, very smart. Good thinking.
Yes.
And you know what? Maybe one of our viewers can actually use that tip when they're building theirs.
Yes.
I got a little froggy in my throat. My bad. Sorry, guys. Right into the mic too. I'm sorry. Stonefly71 was wondering, where is the drain pipe for the washer? They didn't see it with the cold hot box. Maybe it's at the floor and it's just not hooked up yet.
Correct. So it is at the floor and it's off to the side.
Yes.
So I do have to pipe in all that. I've got to get the piping all mounted and hung and everything else like that. But we've got some other things that we got to tackle first before we start messing with that. But it is coming.
That's going to come probably when we start working on the water, which again, very, very soon.
Yes.
But we're probably going to do all that piping stuff with all the liquid needing to go here, there, and everywhere at that time. So,
correct.
Thank you for the question, guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are seriously really cool. I really, really appreciate you guys. This one, I don't know how to pronunciate your name. Rukeren. Are you okay, Aaron? I think that's what it's supposed to say. And it says, love your channel, but hate seeing the conduit in the basement and the outside. Why did you not prepare, plan, and place conduit through the blocks when you were laying them?
So we did think about that and everything. My thought on it was, if something happens to the wiring or anything else while it's inside the block, we would now have to sort of fish that wire out or to replace it or anything else like that. And I'd rather not have to fish any of the wire through the blocks or the walls or have anything happen inside the block wall to where, I don't know, like water and everything else, I'd rather just make it to where it's easily accessible. If I do need to replace something, remove something, or cap something off, it's right there. And I don't have to mess around or hope that I got everything or hope it didn't rip the wire while I'm trying to refeed it or something like that. So.
And me personally, I actually like the look of the conduit, and I like that the boxes are kind of out. You know, it's kind of funny. They sell these little shelves that you can get for the outlets where you can put your phone on it and you can put your wallet on it, you can put all this stuff on it. Well, those boxes are already like built in. So there was I don't remember who brought it up, but I was reading through the comments last week and they had mentioned, why did we put our conduits and our electricity so high up on the wall? Like, why are the conduit boxes so high up? Like, won't it bother us? And the reason being is that the standard height for most things, desks and shelves and all that stuff, it's usually somewhere around, give or take, like 3.5 feet-ish to 4 feet. And so if we had any couches or if we have any tables that we want pushed all the way up against the wall, well, we won't be able to if it's at the bottom because it's going to have to stick out away from the wall there.
And then now that creates a fire hazard if you do have something plugged in there and something pushed up against it. And you wouldn't
be able to use that plug because something's going to be there. So now having it up halfway onto the wall, you'll still be able to use the outlet. You'll still be able to push everything up against the wall. And again, I like the look of the conduit. I personally do inside a basement. Our cabin is not going to be done the same way. No. Upstairs in the cabin, when we finish it, it's going to be all recessed into the wall. This is just for our basement and with the block.
Correct. But it gives it a little commercial feel. We're bringing a little commercial and like home style all together into one, I feel.
Yeah, industrial, not commercial.
Okay, sorry. Industrial.
There you go.
That's a better way to look at it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. Don't be sorry. You're fine. You're fine.
My wording isn't correct.
Somebody's going to pick on you about it. That's all I was saying.
Yes. Industrial. That's a better way to look at it. Yes.
But I like it. I like the look of it. And
we can also paint the conduit.
Yeah, we do have plans to paint it. We are going to paint all on the inside of the basement after we get finished with the walls and the drywall entirely. When it's completely done, then we're going to go through and we're going to be painting all of the inside of the walls. We're going to be doing something with the concrete flooring in here. There is still more work to be done.
Yes.
So what you're seeing right now with the gray conduit up against the white block wall, it's not going to stay that way forever.
No.
So, I mean, this is just the in-between. We're not even living inside the basement yet. But soon. Very soon. Very soon. Okay, so I got another question here. It's from Vincent, and it says, why didn't you insulate the interior walls? It will give you more comfort with the heat and cold, and it will help with noise pollution. I really think you're going to regret that.
So most homes, when they build them and everything, the only thing that the only thing that they actually insulate is the exterior aspects. So the exterior walls, the roof, and the actual floor and everything.
If the house is not on a slab, right?
Correct.
Yeah, if the house
it's not on a slab,
then they don't do the floor. But
yes. Yeah. So I mean, yes, we could have insulated the interior walls. Yes, it would help with the pollution, noise, and everything else. For heating and cooling, if you insulate the inside walls, it'll actually make it a little difficult in a sense. If you don't have venting, we're going to have venting. So, I mean, it's not going to make it more difficult in a sense. But at the same time, now everything is going to be the same regardless. And even in the interior walls, the inner of those walls will be the same as well. Yeah. So
our house in Arizona that we had, that we did a lot of work and stuff on, those walls were not insulated on the inside of the interior walls.
No.
And I don't think I've ever lived in a house where the interior walls were insulated. I mean, maybe I did, but I don't think so, because I mean, I've seen you rip apart plenty of walls and fix things, and
there's no insulation on the interior walls.
I mean, maybe if we were in a really, really cold place.
At least for the southwest and like just the south aspect
I've never lived in the north.
Well, from what I remember in Idaho when we were living up there, I don't remember there being insulation in the interior walls either.
Maybe, I mean, that's a very interesting
for you guys up in the north.
Thought. Maybe you guys.
Is it code required to insulate the interior walls?
That's for you guys. If you guys live up in the north, because maybe that is a difference between the north and the south, et cetera, et cetera. Comment down below if you guys do live in the north, and is that a code requirement for you guys? Are your guys' homes just naturally built that way? Do the contractors do that? Because I've never seen that.
The only way I could see a contractor doing that normally is if it's code required.
Yeah, but I've never seen it though.
But I mean, it adds a lot of cost just to insulate the interior walls.
It ain't cheap.
No, it's not.
Yeah. But as far as, noise pollution and all that stuff, we don't intend to stay living down here in the basement for a great length of time. This is just our stepping stone to get us out of the trailer. And so that way we have someplace comfortable. That way we can get back to some sort of sense of normal with our children and, the family unit and stuff. Because right now we don't even have a place where we could sit around the table and have dinner together as a family. And that's something that's very important to us that we've been missing out on now for a year and a half. And the main reason is because if we eat outside, all of our food is getting attacked by flies and we can't even enjoy a meal. The trailer is too small to be able to sit down and have a meal together. There's little things like that, I don't want to say we took it for granted, but we were able to do those things in Arizona and now we can't, and it's been a year and a half, and we really want those things back with our family. Normal. Because those things are very meaningful to us. It helps to keep our family bonded. And
normality.
Yeah, and we have a lot of other things that bond our family, and we have a lot of other things going on that keep us together as a family unit. But just like Gary was saying, the normality, the routine of things, having your life be so scattered for such a length of time, it's time that we get back to.
Yes. We
get back to some things. It'll benefit our children. It's going to benefit us, our mental and physical and spiritual well-being. So that's one reason why it's very important for us to get out of the trailer and get into here and have some space and have some normalcy again.
Yes.
So. But we don't plan on being here in the basement forever. We will be working on the cabin upstairs very soon, as soon as we're done with the garage. We'll be working on the cabin up there. So it's not going to be too long. And even if we had to live in here for a year while it takes us to build the cabin upstairs, which it likely will be, that's not too long of a time, and it's going to be very comfortable. We'll be able to go through all of the seasons of, like the winter, spring, summer, and fall. We'll be able to go through it here in the basement, and we'll be able to be comfortable while we go through it.
Yep, so, we're going to be having to insulate the ceiling here soon, which we're going to be going R30 rock wool. So it's not going to be the exact R30. It's going to be two R15s stacked together to make R30.
That way, believe it or not.
But yeah, it's going to happen here soon. That's down the line though.
Yeah, you guys will see.
Yeah. And that will definitely help out with the sound pollution from room to back there and everything else as well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So we had one more question, and this one was from RB Story, Ronnie and Brittany. Thank you so much for asking us, and I want to thank everybody else for asking all the questions that you guys have as well today.
Yes.
This last question was from RB Story, and it says, how long have you been married? The annoy each other thing you mentioned in the live was hilarious. We are going on 15 years, and it's not super common anymore for people in their 30s to be together like we have. So I want to say thank you for watching the live, and if you guys missed it and don't know what we're talking about when it comes to annoy each other, I make jokes all the time that it's my job as Gary's wife to annoy him for the rest of our lives, because I goof around a lot and Gary goofs around a lot, and we both just take turns annoying each other in a non-negative kind of way. We're very playful with each other, right? But there are certain things that we do that just you're doing it just to get under my skin, and then the other person laughs, and it's just part of our marriage. This is part of what we do. And so how long have we been together, Gary? When did we meet? What year did we meet?
We've been married for 11 and a half years. We've been together for over 12 and a half years, and we've been friends for 15 and a half years.
Long time.
So we're getting close to that 15 year.
We've known each other for longer than 15, but we haven't been together for that long. But we've over 12 and a half, though. That's good. It's a long time.
Yes.
And it's not really very common for people our age. We live in such a disposable society where everything is disposable, everything is instant gratification, everything is, when, now, and if it's not now, well then they don't want it, and it's sad. It's
Yes.
really sad. And that's not how we want to live, and that's not how we are raising our kids up to live. You can't help it though, living in the times that we live in. There are some things, I find myself too, it's societal. It's not just like you out there. It's not just me out there. It's a societal thing. And unfortunately, that's where we find ourselves living in 2020 is it's an instant gratification. It's it's that type of generation. And unfortunately, people, they treat relationships kind of the same way.
Oh, unfortunately. Unfortunately.
And we're trying to hopefully inspire others to break that mold and to kind of go back to the way things were, but with a modern twist and make it better, because we won't deny that we love living in the modern age. I love having cell phones, and I love having the internet and information at our fingertips. If you're wanting to do something and build something, like, it is so amazing that we don't have to go to the library and redo all this research.
Oh my goodness.
We can just, look it up on our phone. Can you imagine what our parents had to go through? Holy moly. Like,
no, I believe it. Yeah.
That would have been really, so I give all full credit to all of you guys out there that are watching, that are from a generation before us and have already paved the way for us to go walk these footsteps. Like, wow, you guys are way tougher than us, way tougher than us. And we only think we have it rough. Y'all had it real rough. So, I give you guys mad props, but we are living in the generation that we are living in. We're living in the times that we're living in, and we're just making the very best of the situations that we find ourselves in.
Yeah.
And that's all anybody can do. That's all you can do. It's all we can do. You can't turn back time, but you can try your best to not let the moving time erase the past.
Correct.
So that's kind of where we're at and where we're moving forward with it. But we have a lot of stuff we got to do today, guys. I feel that you are going to be extremely excited for this week for us. I know that we are super excited to be moving on to some new steps. It's very exciting.
We've got a lot going on.
Yeah, we have a ton going on. But we do have a new video posted for you guys on Simple Life Reclaimed. It's doing all the background checks and things that YouTube has to make it go through in order for it to be able to post. So it will be up later on this afternoon. I'm hoping that I can have it up by 2 o'clock this afternoon for you guys. Keep your notifications turned on. And we will be back here on Real Talk with another episode for you guys, maybe answering some further questions and, hanging out with you guys tomorrow morning. So I hope you guys have a very wonderful day. And until the next one, guys, we love y'all, and we hope you have a good one.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye, you guys.
Later.